This is a review of Becoming Strong, written by Anandamayi Baker and illustrated by Akiko Martinache, with a foreword by Dr. Dale Atkins. I do apologize if I've mispronounced anyone's name. The story is told from the perspective of Jazianza Azaza Buzzabee, a honeybee who is different from her peers. It contains 7 chapters, each reading somewhat like a journal entry. Jazzy tells the reader about her encounter with Lida Butterfly, her lessons with Mama Queensy Bee or Mama QB, which often involve ways to cope with anxiety, and her encounter with the hornets, among other daily moments. There are subtleties in the story to convey information about pollinators, with a larger focus on bees, of course. But there are also subtleties to teaching young readers. One of these involves a good method for conveying pronunciation through writing. It's on page 3 of the story. Then she made her own private little green sock. What did she call it? A tickle kiss? Or a wriggle hiss? Or, wait, I remember now. It was a chrysalis. Though there is an assumption that the reader would know that the word begins like crystal, since the book is intended for readers aged 4 to 10, it is likely they would have familiarity with that sound. It's the second half of the word that would be unfamiliar in pronunciation. I know when I was a young child, I pronounced the word chrysalis, which may simply be regional. Regardless, the first time I heard chrysalis pronounced as chrysalis, I admit to being confused momentarily. But the words Baker chose to lead the reader into a pronunciation, tickle, wriggle, both have an emphasis on the first syllable. This also serves to help the parent reading the story, as some may not actually be familiar with the word chrysalis if they grew up with teachers who called it a cocoon. Another subtlety in the story is the hornets themselves. It's very brief, but Lida tells Jazzy to beware of the hornets. Jazzy hasn't met them, and she's only recently met Lida. But Lida warns Jazzy, telling her that the hornet she escaped looked scary and was trying to eat her. Yet when Jazzy meets the hornets 21 pages later, even though she's scared, she uses the lessons from Mama QB about controlling anxiety and manages to put aside her fear. While the focus is on the lessons on how to deal with anxiety, there's also a more subtle message here to not judge someone you've just met by what others have told you. Sometimes people can look scary, but be kind. In the story, this is shown by the hornets sharing their food source after Jazzy shares her glasses to help the hornet Princess Zizamil. While I will grant you that Jazzy showed kindness first, and that due to Queen Himazil Hornet's curiosity about her glasses, sometimes that's how life happens. Someone has to step forward first, and it's subtle how Baker uses this moment to demonstrate that. Having said that, I will note that there is validity in the stranger danger lessons for younger children. I expect, though, that parents helping their children read this book are also teaching them other life lessons about discernment. Because these are all insects, we are perceiving them as all on the same social level, despite the inclusion of titles that indicate age disparity. Overall, I would rate this book 4.5 stars out of 5. It has an intriguing chaptered story that young readers will likely find engaging, and even includes instructions on meditative techniques that can help with anxiousness. And, of course, there's the cultural shake it off reference towards the beginning of the book, applied directly to reducing stress. There are several pages at the end of the story where Baker encourages readers to learn more about pollinators, citing a National Wildlife Federation article that I've linked in this video's description, as well as 2 pages of acknowledgments for everyone who helped on the project in some way. There's also an author bio page, of course. The book is currently available on Amazon in print form only for $12.99 US. According to the copyright page, some of the proceeds from the sale of the book are donated to the Xerces Society and to Save the Children. Please note that if you buy used copies, the charities do not receive any benefits as those funds go directly to the seller. Please see this video's description for links to public domain photography sources used. And thank you for listening, and have a good day.